everyone. Welcome to the Cook Nook. This is Angel Girl.
Hey guys, I'm Donnie Shell Shocked.
And today we're going to do a review. And today we actually visited Chance and Lee's. And we've gone to this establishment. I believe this is probably our fourth time.
Yeah.
Every single time we've gone, it's been a pretty pleasant.
Yeah, it's always a nice little ambient that they have there.
Yeah, really pretty good music. The service is always, pretty good. They always, hey, would you need this?
Very courteous.
Very
yeah,
courteous,
they're
very
courteous.
nice. Yeah. So yeah, we've never really had any issues. So I think that's probably why this is like our fourth, visit.
Yeah. I mean, apart from the food being really, really delicious.
Yes, yes. The food is usually always very, very good. I think on our very first visit, I think I rated it like an 8, 7 maybe, and it was just because like at the time that we went, it's like we didn't know what to expect. The first pizzas that we got were I think that the ingredients were empowering the sauce itself, so I couldn't taste the marinara sauce.
I think because it was a style of that type of pizza that we ordered. It was a specialty type of pizza. So I think we got the one that's called al pastor, which had some meat on it, and then the veggies and all that stuff on it. Plus, they also gave us that little green salsa that we could pour on top. So usually, when you eat that style of food, it's a Mexican style dish. It's usually tend to be in a taco, not on a pizza. So it was a nice sort of twist to that dish to begin with.
Yeah, because al pastor is usually you get tacos.
Yeah.
So and then they made it a big Mexican twist and put it on a pizza, and so that was, the ingredients were definitely empowering the sauce itself.
But I think at that point, I don't think the sauce really mattered on the pizza itself, because you wanted to try the meat on it and everything else on it.
Yeah.
So I think it was fine. It wasn't. I think if it would have had too much of a marinara sauce taste on the sauce versus the other ingredients that were in there, I think it would have clashed a little too much. But I think they added just enough of the sauce so that what you're trying are the main ingredients. I think that's why that dish was so good. It was because you had more of the main ingredients tasting a lot more. Like you could get more of the flavor versus the sauce itself. But we always get the wings. The wings are there. Are always phenomenal.
Yes,
I mean,
they're actually like they're
real wings.
Yeah, those are not like pigeon wings.
Yeah.
Those were like big, thick, meaty.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The sauce itself, I mean, this is a very generic buffalo sauce on it. It still has that nice little tanginess to it, which is always good in a buffalo sauce.
And it's not like hot. Like
it's not overly spicy.
Yeah.
It's a nice wing with that buffalo sauce. It's a nice chill, time to have a couple of drinks, have a little bit of a chit chat, and then eating the wings. You know what I mean? They did have a nice little crunch to them.
Yes.
The meat itself, like the chicken itself, was really moist. Yeah. Like the wing was really, really moist compared to some of the other locations that we've gone to, either from a franchise or a non-franchise business. Chance and Lee's wings are phenomenal compared to all these other places.
Yeah,
they're by far the best wings that I've tried in our city. Like they're the best ones I've ever had.
Yes.
Just because they're flavorful, the sauce is good, the wing is meaty, it's juicy. It's a nice, good portion for it. I mean, it's always really, really good.
Yes, and I always love that they have like carrots and celery. It's not very often that you find carrots along with the celery. Usually, like if let's say you go to like a franchise restaurant, pizza place.
They only give you celery. That's most of the time that they give you.
Yeah, and so this time they actually gave you carrots. I was like, this is interesting. It's something different, and it's really, really good. And then for this visit, we had the one that had the Texican, that was called the Texican, and then the Clásico.
El Clásico.
El Clásico, yes. And
which it just
then-
means translates to the classic.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So the Texican, that one had what was
They
it?
give you an option.
Yeah.
If you wanted asada, which is just another meat, or if you wanted chicken. So we're like, well, you know, I was like, let's try the chicken.
Yeah.
And then the owner actually suggested, well, you could do half chicken, half meat.
Yeah, asada.
And I was like, okay, well, yeah, that sounds great. So we did that.
Yeah.
And the pizza itself came with white onions, tomatoes, and then I think that was about it, right? Oh, and jalapenos.
Yes.
It had jalapenos. Although the jalapenos were not spicy,
No, they weren't. And
they added sort of a little bit of that pickled taste to them, because they weren't fresh jalapenos. You could tell that they were pickled jalapenos, but that vinegar taste of the jalapenos was a really nice taste with the beef, though. I don't know if you noticed it, but I noticed that on there. And then the same thing with the other pizza that I know you had mentioned the sauce. On this one, it was kind of a little bit under sauced, kind of like we're used to a little bit more sauce than on our pizzas and stuff like that. But it was still a very delicious pizza. I think it was really good.
Yeah, for the chicken was really, really good. And then the meaty part, you definitely could tell that it was, it was cut up into little tiny pieces.
Yeah.
But at one point, it was a pretty size meat, and it was put in the grill for at least a pretty good while, and then it was finished off by putting it into the pizza and putting it in the oven.
Yeah, I mean, the portion itself of the chicken and the beef that they added was a good portion on the pizza itself. Sometimes they either overdo it and they add too much, then when you're picking out the slices, everything's just falling apart. Or sometimes they underdo it where they don't put enough, and you're left with a pizza that's like mostly cheese and sauce and not really anything else. You know what I mean? But in Chantilly's, they really did a good portion control on the pizza itself. Like they added just enough of the beef, they added just enough of the chicken, and then the rest of the veggies just complemented everything else.
The pizza was crunchy.
Oh yeah.
Flavorful, and you can definitely tell the difference between like the franchise ones and others that we've tasted. Theirs is just very like a crunchy. Once you bite into it,
And what I like is that they actually keep their structure. Sometimes when you pick up a pizza slice, it's too overpowered with the sauce and the cheese and the ingredients that it just sort of goes limp.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And this time around, it was a nice, it kept its form, and you didn't have to worry too much about it flopping over or the ingredients falling off.
Yeah.
I think they did a nice combination, especially with the cheese. The cheese just hold everything together. Like somehow the cheese was just like the glue for everything. Which it turned out to be very delicious. I think that first pizza we had was amazing. I think that's definitely, I would want to eat just a single pizza itself with just the beef itself. But at least to my taste, I would want to add more jalapenos, because I would like that little bit of that extra kick to it.
I did ask him to go
easy on jalapenos.
Yeah,
because sometimes you don't want to overpower it also. You don't want to eat too much spiciness, because it kind of numbs your taste buds, and then we're trying to taste the food, and we don't want to go numb with our taste first. You know what I mean? So,
yeah, and I mean, on top of that, I can't. I have acid reflux, so it's not good.
Also, what I like was that even the crust itself, it wasn't like a really thick crust on the edge. Sometimes they leave too much of a edge on the pizza.
Oh, yeah.
This one was like everything, the sauce, the ingredients was almost right to the edge.
Yeah.
And what I like also is that you're able to sort of kind of crunch the pizza and sort of fold it in, because that's my technique. I grab the slice, right? The slice, I sort of press with my index and then push with my middle finger and my thumb up and sort of create like a little boat on it, so all the ingredients stay in the middle. I'm so used to doing that. I tried doing it with this one, and I was like, there's no purpose, because the ingredients ain't going nowhere. You know what I mean? They just stay right where they need to. So I think the first one that we had was a really good pizza. Yeah. And we didn't order a big pizza anyways. It was a medium-sized pizza, pretty good. So yeah.
Yeah. And then we had the Clásico. It was you also mentioned is like it was a very earthy type of flavor because of the mushrooms.
Yeah, it was a pepperoni, Italian sausage, and mushroom pizza. So what I like, I mean, the pepperoni and Italian sausage, it's alone are good. When they added the mushrooms on it, it to me at least, it had that little nice little earthy taste from the mushroom itself, which was a nice little, for my taste buds at least, it was a new, or not a new, but something refreshing, because usually when we eat mushrooms on the pizza, it's whenever we order the vegetarian pizza or the veggie pizza. And to have it on a non-veggie pizza, you know what I mean? It was a nice thing to add on there. So
yes, definitely. It was also, I mean, the crust never changed.
The sauce, the flavor of the sauce also didn't change. So.
Yeah, and for this one, I definitely tasted it was like a little bit of basil into it. Yeah, I feel like it was just basil based, but it was really good. It wasn't too salty. It wasn't over seasoned.
Yeah.
So that was really, really good. I really enjoyed it. And so what did you think about the sub?
Well, I think the sub was every time we go to Chantilly. I think since the first time we went, I wanted to try one of their subs. They just looked really good. The ingredients on them were seemed like they were gonna be really good. So I think this time I was like, you know what, I'm gonna have a sub. I mean, I know I was gonna get full with the 2 pieces that we ordered. So I was like, you know what, let me at least eat a bit of it. So we ended up getting the Italian sub. It was just, really good. The bread itself was nice and flaky, very nice. It had a nice little crunch to it, but it wasn't too over crunched to where you feel like it's like daggers in your mouth, like cutting you up. The ingredients itself, from the salami, the pepperoni, everything else, and the mozzarella cheese in it was really good. And then it had a nice Italian seasoning on it, or dressing on it, that was really good. Believe it or not, it was really, very good.
It was a very mix of flavors put together.
Yeah. And I liked that it had that lettuce and red onions and everything on it. So it added an extra little crunch of freshness in there. So I think that with the Italian sub alone, it's definitely something quick to eat for lunch. That's definitely like a quick sandwich. You just go in, order it online, or order it through the phone, grab it, pick it up, and then go back to work, kind of thing. So they did an amazing job with the Italian sub. And what we loved too was that they come in these almost semi-transparent containers. They also come with a side of chips, which is a very nice addition to it. So yeah, we ended up having a little bit of leftovers. We tend to do that. We tend to order, because we want to try at least 2. I think ordering small, pizzas, it doesn't make it doesn't do it justice. I think having a medium size is a pretty good, decent size for them. So all the ingredients can lay out really good. You don't have to try and cram them in a smaller space. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think we normally order the medium-sized pizzas. It has a pretty good flavor on them. So yeah.
I think the only thing that I probably didn't like about this particular stay is that they didn't have the lemonade.
Yeah. Their lemonade's really good.
Yes, their lemonade was really, really good, and it's very fresh, and it's not the type that you very generic, Minute Maid type, They actually make it, they hand squeeze it and stuff. So I missed it, and so the only thing I had was to order the
unsweet tea.
And I didn't really taste much of the tea. All I really tasted was water with sugar. You know what I mean? So I was just kind of disappointed in that side. But I mean,
the good thing is that even with or without the drinks, I don't think it takes away from the place itself.
No.
You know what I mean? Or the flavor of the pizza themselves. It didn't really take away. I could have done with just a glass of water. I opted out the same. I didn't want to drink a soda that day. Or for lunch, I wanted to, have some the sweet tea as well. So that's why I went with the sweet tea. I mean, it was really good. It's sweet tea. There's nothing really spectacular about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So.
And for them, they don't have like any fountain drinks.
Oh yeah, so
Yeah.
they usually give you the cans.
Cans, yeah. Which I get, it's good. It's a good thing, and for a small business, I see and I understand, why they have to do that.
Yeah, that's just having the fountain drinks alone is such a cost when it comes to the overhead itself. Not only the CO2 tanks, plus the bags of the syrup, and then the piping and like all that. The machinery alone is a really costs. It costs a lot, so it's understandable why they don't have it. I think you're allowed to bring your own drinks as well, and I know that they've been having some events and stuff like that. I know they had some motorcycle clubs come out. They had like a little somewhat of a little concert there as well. So it's gaining a lot of traction and it's gaining a lot of popularity. And since the day they opened, I mean, I think we had been wanting to go to try it. When we went, we loved it. And we were like, what, we were on that side of town. Let's stop by and get something to eat there again. And I think the third time around, I think we were craving pizza, and we were gonna go originally because one of the franchises is a lot closer to where we live. So we were gonna go originally to one of the franchise restaurants, but we went and it was just packed. It was completely packed, and I get it. It's in town. It's one of the local favorite places for people to go to when it comes to a franchise pizzeria. And
hey everyone, so we got into a little issue after this last part. The audio didn't work anymore, but basically what we were saying is that we would love to come back to Chance and Lee's, and as from our previous 4 visits, it was a great visit. It's a great restaurant. We definitely recommend it, and so thank you guys for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.